bake chocolate chip cookies and avoid 25 to life. Ingredients: 2 1/4 cups all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon baking soda, 1 teaspoon salt, 1 cup 2 sticks butter softened, 3/4 cup granulated sugar, 3/4 cup hacked brown sugar, 1 teaspoon vanilla extract, 2 large eggs, and 2 cups of chocolate chips. First, preheat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. While it's preheating, combine baking soda and salt in a small bowl. Next, in a large mixing bowl, beat the butter. Brown sugar, granulated sugar, and vanilla extract until creamy. Add eggs one at a time. Beating the mixture thoroughly after every mixture. Now, the hard part. As you know, in America today, chocolate chips are a Class C non-tradable substance. The penalty for possession alone being a hefty fine and possibly some jail time. And possession with intent to distribute is 25 years to life. First, leave your house. Get in your car and drive to the rec center parking lot and look for Mikey. Mikey hangs out in the parking lot. He's a high school freshman with connections to some of the more global chocolate chip rackets. He might have what you need. Mikey will demand an even $50 for 8 ounces of chocolate chips. However, this is much higher than actual street value as you are a new customer. Don't agree to anything over $25, which Mikey will immediately accept when a police cruiser pulls into the rec center parking lot right behind you. Now, Mikey's gonna make a break for it and leave you holding the bag. But if he does so, the cops will bust his ass for chocolate chip distribution. Mikey's in cuffs and the cops are starting to look your way, so here's what you need to do. Stuff the chips under your jacket and try to shimmy back to your car as casually as possible. Do not run. If you run, they'll know to chase you. Stay calm. Stay calm. This isn't working. You have exactly 3 seconds left if you want to get to your car before the car chase starts, but they'll only catch you in the end, so here's what you do. Walk over to your car like you're going to get in and draw the cops that way. Then double back around and jump into the cop car. The keys are still in the ignition. After you steal the cop car, you need to firmly place your foot on the gas, disregard Travis wheels and Mikey's frantic sprint from the back.
What the fuck are you doing? Are you crazy?
He'll thank you for this in the end. And his gratitude could lead to better chocolate chip prices in the future. Next, panic for roughly the next 20 seconds as you speed along. Cop cars are much faster than you used to, so you can drive erratically for several minutes until it sinks in that, like it or not, you're a criminal now, past the point of no return. don't drive straight home. You'll only lead the police right to your kitchen full of cookie paraphernalia and make things worse for yourself. Instead, head in the opposite direction, stopping at the nearest vacant lot or parking structure where you can ditch the car and get Mikey out of his handcuffs. After you've pulled over, take several ginger steps away from the car, hyper-aware of the sound of gravel crunching beneath your feet and the jittering of your teeth. You lost them, or you think so. Feeling better as Mikey punches you on the shoulder and says,
You're one crazy son of a bitch, but I owe you.
Next, you hear an audible click from the other end of the lot. The grin slides off of Mikey's face like so much illicit cookie dough thrown against the wall. He recognizes the figure in the leather jacket and sunglasses training a gun on both of you. It turns out, Mikey's been stiffing his supplier out of some substantial profits over the last few months, and they've finally gotten wise. Now, the hitman's going to go after Mikey first, but as you're a witness, and as far as she knows, part of Mikey's operation, you'll have to die as well. Here's what you do.
Shove Mikey forcefully to the ground before the kidman's time to shoot you. Slide over the cop car and duck for cover. Open the passenger door and right into the glove compartment until you find a police issue 9mm handgun, fully loaded. Using the hood of the car for cover, try to lay out a few shots of suppressing fire to his hand to stop shooting long enough for you to rise from cover and round up a shot.
In a gunfight, always aim for center of mass. Hitting the hitman squarely in the chest will kill or more likely incapacitate her well enough for your purposes. And you never get her head with your hand shaking like that anyways. Suppress the feeling of horror inside as you see a shot connect. Remind yourself it could just as easily have been you. Now you have to frisk the hitman for their car keys, and you might as well keep her gun while you're at it. You can give it to Mikey. Now, as someone's likely reported the gunshots by now, go check on Mikey and get him to the hitman's Lamborghini as soon as possible. On finding Mikey in a shallow puddle of his own blood, immediately take off your jacket to use as a makeshift bandage for the bullet wound on his cap. As long as you can put pressure on the wound and keep the bleeding to a minimum, you won't need to worry about putting a tourniquet on it, so your chances of saving the leg are reasonable. It is important that you retrieve the chocolate chips from your jacket, as they are no longer stashed within it. If you lose the chips, this was all for nothing. Now, at least certain the cops can't find you in the hitman's Lambo. Drive as fast as possible back to your house, ignoring Mikey's moaning and screaming in the back seat.
Oh God, how do they find us? How do they know? Ow, my leg!
Dump Mikey on the living room couch while you find some real bandages in the back to dress his wound. When you return with the bandages and disinfectant, however, step no further into the living room or else risk pissing off the Colombian drug lord, Mikey's supplier, who is right now holding a piece to his head. Clearly, she's just as angry at you for disposing of her hitman, and that tipping the cops off to Mikey's confectionery extracurriculars didn't put a stop to all this. Don't lose it, as the drug lord turns the gun on you and mutters something like,
Maybe I better kill you first.
Now, if you know any karate, this would be the time for it.
Otherwise, wait for Mikey to punch her in the gut as the two of you wrestle for the gun. You're eventually going to wait to pull the jump cord to the ground and get on top of her, allowing gravity to work with you in your attempt to get the gun away. It goes off twice, loudly. One bullet embedding itself, harmlessing the drywall, and the other grazing your shoulder. Ignore it. The heat of the bullet will disinfect and cauterize the wounds. It'll sting like hell, but that's it. Focus on the third one not going through your head. With both of your hands occupied, trying to pin her arms down, pull your head back for a headbutt, hitting her squarely on the nose to disorient her enough to snatch the gun. It's now or never, you think, as you pull the gun away from her and place the barrel to her head. You notice her freeze, looking scared. You begin to think things like, I can't shoot an unarmed woman like this, and what kind of monster have these cookies made me into? But now is not the time for hesitation. She was going to do the same to you and Mikey, no doubt, like she had countless others. You remember that. Like it or not, you're a criminal now. This life chose you. You have to keep Mikey safe. You pull the trigger. And get up. In pain and covered in 3 different people's blood. Take Mikey outside once his bleeding's died down and bring him to the car. After dropping him off at the emergency room, look back into the rear view at him laying on the curb and resolve to save him from this business after you've seen what it does to people. He's a nice kid, really, who just needs some guidance. We were all young once. Now, you need to dispose of the stolen Lamborghini in the nearest remote body of water, avoiding populated areas as you trudge back home. Once home, step over the body of the deceased Colombian drug lord in your kitchen. Add 2 cups of chocolate chips to the mixture. Stir well before putting the dough on a pre-greased pan with spoonful-sized balls. Bake for 20 to 25 minutes until golden brown. Let stand for an additional 5 minutes. Makes 4 dozen.